When Vader swung his crimson lightsaber through Obi-Wan Kenobi's sand-coated cloak, aboard the first Death Star, the Sith Lord finally thought he claimed revenge on his former master. After all the years and all the anguish that Vader's defeat on Mustafar had wrought, he had the final word in the Book of Kenobi. And it was Vader's victory and Obi-Wan's death. But before Obi-Wan Kenobi died, he calmly warned Vader, "I shall become more powerful than you could possibly imagine." And soon, Vader experienced that power firsthand. When the ghost of Obi-Wan Kenobi came back to haunt the Sith Lord aboard his TIE Advanced, what did Kenobi tell his former apprentice, and how did Vader react? That is today's underrated moment. After the Millennium Falcon struck Vader's vessel with a series of turbo laser rounds, the Sith Lord's ship was thrown into the blackness of space. With its customized hull and its additional Durasteel armor, Vader was in no danger at all. In just a few more seconds after his stabilizers rerouted, the Sith Lord would regain control of his ship and continue his pursuit of Obi-Wan Kenobi's mysterious new apprentice across the Death Star's trenches. "Flight Commander, I'm returning to the Death Star. Clear my path," Vader commanded through his comms. A dry, nervous voice, probably a new stationed officer who had yet to deal with the Emperor's most notorious enforcer, replied, "At once, Lord Vader." But before he could finish, a massive explosion filled the space above Yavin. The Death Star, the moon-sized battle station that Darth Sidious had spent nearly 2 decades constructing, had just been destroyed. As a ring of orange flames sped towards the cockpit of his TIE Advanced, Vader clenched his teeth and painfully thought of the many ways Palpatine might express his outrage. "My master will not be pleased," he thought to himself. The Empire's failures were adding up, and it was only a matter of time before Palpatine would tire of blaming Vader and instead simply replace him. Vader had already discovered a few of Palpatine's pet projects, resurrected Sith clones and assassin droids, that Sidious secretly created in case Darth Vader ever met an unfortunate demise. With warped metal panels and charred pipes flowing past his viewport, the lingering wreckage of the Death Star, Vader worried that this would be the final straw that would break the camel's back. As he worried about his future, a faint blue aura illuminated his control panel, contrasting with the blinking red emergency lights that were ringing behind him. "I told you," a calm voice stated, "I'd become more powerful if you struck me down." It was Obi-Wan. "You also said I'd be the death of you," Vader shouted back, remembering the times he spent as Kenobi's apprentice during the Clone Wars. Furious that Kenobi had managed to somehow survive as a ghost, Vader slammed his fist through the blue specter, futilely trying to kill a man who had already been dead. As his mechanical black hand passed through Kenobi's ghost, Vader mistakenly triggered the ejection of one of the TIE Advanced wings. "There, now you've gone and done it," Kenobi jested again, falling back into his role as a sardonic teacher. Even though Vader had caused his death, Kenobi didn't haunt his former apprentice for revenge. He was here to change Vader, to bring him back to the light. "Shut up, old man," Vader roared. His tin voice boomed over the increasing sound of shrapnel that came in greater waves from the Death Star's debris. With another smack of his hand, Vader once again punched through Obi-Wan's ghost, but this time he launched a proton torpedo. If he had been lucky, Vader would have struck one of the massive sheets of Durasteel that were flying past. But by now, Vader was about as unlucky as they came. His torpedo launched through space and collided with the Grand Moff Tarkin's personal escape pod. It wasn't likely that the high-ranking Imperial had managed to get to his pod before Luke's torpedo struck the Death Star's core, but even if Tarkin had, he wouldn't have survived Vader's custom-crafted homing missiles. As Tarkin's pod illuminated Vader's eyes with the orange glow of its destruction, Obi-Wan left a few final words. "You always had a temper." Kenobi mocked again, as Vader continued to bash his control panel, even though he must have known by then that there was no way he could have harmed the Spectre. The tale of Kenobi's ghost and Darth Vader, while one of the most intriguing, is also one that has been relegated to legend's continuity. In addition, since it's one of the Star Wars tales, whether or not it actually took place or was a fabrication is up for debate. In either case, we can't help but wonder all the other ways the specter of Obi-Wan Kenobi taunted Vader in the years following the destruction of the first Death Star. Was Obi-Wan's ghost responsible, at least in part, for Vader's ultimate redemption? Perhaps, but that's a tale for another time.